Hello student, this is the second part of my video lecture for the topic population dynamics. In the previous video lecture, I had taught you about population distribution. Now, in this particular lecture, I will cover the following topics: density of population, overpopulated areas, moderately populated areas, underpopulated areas, population growth and population composition. Now, what is population density? Population density is defined as the number of people living in a unit area of land. The formula for calculating population density is total population of a given area by total area. For example, if you want to calculate the population density of India, it will be total population of India divided by total geographical area of India. The average density of world population is 45 people per square kilometer. This map is showing density of population all over the world. It has classified the world into various regions based upon the density of population. We divide world into three main areas on the basis of the density of population. Number one, overpopulated areas or densely populated areas. Number two, moderately populated areas. Number three, underpopulated areas or thinly populated areas. Now, I am going to give you some examples of overpopulated areas. Macau. Macau is an autonomous part of China that is located in the southeastern direction. As you can see the figure, the total population density in that particular region is 21,411 persons per square kilometer, which is quite high. Then comes Monaco. Monaco is a country surrounded by France from all sides. It belongs to the continent of Europe. The population density of Monaco is 18,713 persons per square kilometer. Then comes Bangladesh, which is our neighboring country in the east. Here, the population density is 1106 persons per square kilometer. Now, the regions with overpopulation have suitable climatic condition, fertile river valleys and plains with adequate agricultural productions. Actually, these are the factors that attract population in these areas. West Asia and East Asia are overpopulated areas of the world as intensive agriculture is practiced here. Now, what are the impact of overpopulation? The first one is deflation of natural resources. Demand for agricultural production and forest commodities increases with the rise in the population. To meet the need of the growing population, extensive forest areas are cleared. This causes deflation of natural resources. Number two, environmental hazard. Industrialization and urbanization cause imbalance in the atmosphere, which ultimately result in harmful phenomena like global warming. Number three, unemployment. Unemployment rate is high in most of the country facing the problem of overpopulation. The economy of those countries cannot support the growing population because a large population strain the economy of the country. Or you can say a huge population putting immense pressure upon the economy of the country. Next, health and sanitation. In overpopulated regions, slums are developed due to haphazard land use. As many poor people come to urban areas to try out their luck. The poor infrastructure of the slum lower the quality of health condition and overall sanitation and hygiene. Now I will discuss about few moderately populated areas. The first one is southern Russia. Russia is a very huge country. As you can see in the map, the southern part of Russia is a moderately populated areas. Next come USA. The central part of USA that include the states of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, etc. have moderate density of population. In India, Deccan Plateau have moderate density of population which is surrounded by Vindhya Satpura mountain range on the north, Western Ghat on the west and Eastern Ghat on the east. Now, all the moderately populated areas are preferred by the people due to improved infrastructure, mining and industrialization. Underpopulated areas. Among the underpopulated areas, Greenland is very popular. In Greenland, population density is less than 1%, that is 0.3% per square kilometer. In Falkland Island, which is one of the overseas territories of Great Britain, the population density is only 0.21% per square kilometer. In Mongolia, which is located in the northern part of China, population density is only 1.92% per square kilometer. Now, what are the impact of underpopulation? Means, what are the positive sides and negative sides of underpopulation? Underpopulated countries do not face the problem of crowding, which is the main problem of overpopulated regions. Due to less population, there are enough natural resources to meet the requirements of the citizens. Underpopulation put less pressure on the environment, thereby reducing environmental degradation. Negative impacts. Underpopulated countries do not have enough people to develop natural resources of the country. Many natural resources of underpopulated countries therefore remain underdeveloped. The lack of adequate labor leads to low productivity. In underpopulated countries, the number of labor is very low. As a consequence, the productivity level of different commodities also very less. The number of taxpayers are less, leading to low income of the government. Now, what is population growth? Population growth means change in population in a particular area between 2 points of time. As you can see in the given graph, that these lines are representing growth in population of different continents like Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, Latin America, Oceania, etc. In each and every case, you can see that the line is rising upward. That means what? There is positive growth of population. Whenever there is increase in the number of population between 2 points of time, it is called positive growth. On the other hand, if there is decrease in population between 2 points of time, it is called negative growth of population. So both are growth. One is positive, another one is negative. Now various measurements and nature of population growth. We can measure population growth by means of birth rate, death rate, natural growth rate, migration, etc. What is birth rate? What is birth rate? Birth rate is the number of live birth per 1,000 persons in a year. What is death rate? Death rate is the number of death per 1,000 persons in a year. Natural growth rate is the difference between the birth rate and the death. Migration is the movement of people from one place to another. It is another way by which population of a place is getting affected. That means if we take into account how much migration taking place from a given region, then also we can estimate population growth. Now, developed nations of the world have shown low growth rate of population. On the other hand, developing and underdeveloping nations of the world have shown high growth rate of population. Why? Because in developed nation, the birth rate and death rate both are low. For that, the growth rate of population is also low. In developing and underdeveloping nations, birth rate is high but death rate is low. For that reason, the growth rate of population is very high. Now, the 4 phases of population growth in India. Since the year 1901 till 2001, we have divided the growth of Indian population into 4 phases. Phase 1 is called period of stagnant growth, that is from 1901 to 1921. Phase 2 is called period of steady growth, that is from 1921 to 1951. Phase 3 is called period of rapid growth, that is from 1951 to 1981. The last phase, that is period of high growth with some sign of slowing down, is from 1981 to 2001. In India, only negative growth rate of population is observed during the first phase, because during that time our country was colony of British Empire. So many people lost their life in Second World War fighting for the British against their enemy, and also due to influenza and cholera, due to all these epidemics, many people lost their life in the first phase of population growth in our country. Now, different types of migration. There are 2 kinds of migration. One is immigration, another one is immigration. If you look in this schematic diagram, you will find there are 2 countries. One is home country, another one is destination country, and the arrow indicate the direction of migration. Migration is taking place from home country to destination country. That means people are moving away from the home country and they are moving towards the destination country. So those people who are moving out of the home country are called immigrants, and the process is called emigration. and those people moving into the destination country are called immigrant, and the process is called immigration. So there are two kinds of migration. One is emigration, another one is immigration. And the people who are doing immigration are called immigrants, and the people who are doing immigration are called immigrants. Next one is population composition. Now, population composition is defined as the structure of the population. It composed of following components: age, literacy, sex, and occupations are its major components. At first, we will discuss about age structure. That is one of the component of population composition. Age structure is a very important indicator that shows the percentage of productive population who are involved in different kind of economic activities. What is economic activity? The activity that gives us money. The people who come in the age group of 15 to 59 are considered productive because they participate in economically gainful activities. Whereas below 15 years are child and above 59 years are aged. They are not considered as productive population as they do not participate in economically gainful activities. Next one is sex ratio. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio is defined as the ratio between males and females in the total population. It is number of females per 1000 males. This diagram is showing sex ratio of India, which indicate that in our country the sex ratio is not balanced. That means the number of males and number of females are not equal. So we can classify sex ratio into two categories. One is favorable, another one is unfavorable. In India, we have unfavorable sex ratio. Why? Because number of female in the population is lower. On the other hand, in the Western world, in the developed country, we have favorable sex ratio because there the number of females is equal or higher in number in the country, or we can say that there is an equal or higher number of females per 1000 males in the country. Population pyramid. What does population pyramid represents? The population pyramid represents the distribution of males and females of different age group in a particular country. As you can see in this diagram, the x-axis, that is the horizontal axis, is representing the number of population in millions, and the vertical axis representing the age group. If you observe this particular population pyramid that represents population of India, it is showing an expanding population. Why it is an expanding population? Because the number of people in the lower age group is higher than the number of people in the higher age group. Why? How you can know this? Because if you observe this pyramid, you can see the pyramid have a very broad base. So the broad base depicts a large proportion of population in the lower age group, which indicate what? Higher birth rate. And narrow apex means narrow top part of the pyramid indicate what? higher death rate in the older age group. That means in our country we can say the life expectancy rate is very less. Next one is population pyramid of USA. This kind of population pyramid have shape like a bell. Why? Because it has a narrow top and broad middle for several bars. This pyramid representing a constant population. Why? Because here birth and death rate are equal and remain constant, making the percentage of males and females almost the same. If you observe carefully, you will notice one thing, that in case of each and every age group, the difference between the number of male and female is not great. It is very less. The difference between percentage of male and female in each age group is very less. Next one is Germany. Germany shows us a declining population. The pyramid of Germany, the age sex pyramid of Germany shows us a declining population. Why? Because first of all, the pyramid have a narrow base and a bulging middle part. Why it is so? Why the base is narrow? Because of low birth. And why the middle part is bulging? Middle part is bulging because along with low birth, death rate is also low. For that reason, not only the middle part is bulging, but also the apex part is slightly narrower. Not totally narrow, but slightly narrower. So with this, I am completing my video lecture session over here. Hopefully you have understood whatever I have explained, and if you do not understand, don't forget to send SMS in my WhatsApp number or put comment at the comment box in the YouTube channel. And again I will say, please don't forget to subscribe the channel, because if you subscribe the channel, then whenever I upload any new video lecture, definitely you are going to get the notification. Thank you.